You know what happens for me is I'll look at Ethereum, I'll look at Cardano on the zoomed in, and I'm like, man, this is just, where's the breakout for altcoins? And then I sit down, I'm like, I need to prepare a video to really track what's going on in markets. I start digging into the data, everybody. And I flip from just that short-term, distracted, kind of impatient perspective to I have to contain myself as I start recording the video because of the data that I'm digesting. And in this video, I want to talk about the confluence of multiple different pieces of data. That is the Fed balance sheet we talked about yesterday. This gold chart, everybody, what this means for altcoins. Wait until you see altcoins versus gold. And I want to talk about the total crypto market cap for crypto on the zoomed out. So please hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, get back there. We actually just added Say. This was kind of a popular demanded risk model by our members. We just added this sitting at a very low 26, a moderate buy. We have a free trial going on for our assets, for our risk models that are back there right now. So check it out, give us a try and start planning and strategizing for this bull cycle. All right. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the business cycle. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the Fed balance sheet. I did a video on it last night. I'm not going to show a clip here, but I just posted this on X. Most people don't realize how close we are to a liquidity reversal. Crypto runs on this. Altcoins thrive on this. Jerome Powell just hinted QT is ending. This is the same setup before the last bull run. And I talked about this in last night's video if you did not see it. This is a very simple explanation, an illustration. Here's the top of the last bull market. Here's expansion phase going crazy because of COVID, right? We know what happened then. But really the beginning of the last bull market, and wait till you see what this data, how it lines up with gold and what's happening right now. But really the beginning of the last bull market was right around here. That was like the November 2020. Bitcoin was breaking the bull market doors, if you remember. And that's when that started. And it went on for like a year before we got ready for the quantitative tightening era, right? And there's the top of the last bull market. So here we are right now. As I mentioned in last night's video, the whole thing is flipping. And we can't necessarily say quantitative tightening is over now. That's not what Powell said yesterday, but in the coming months. So we're coming to this point right here, right here. Now, I want to look at this post. This is a post I just saw on X, altcoins versus gold chart. And I'm going to show you the chart itself. I kind of redid it. Many people in disbelief, details in the chart. And he really just goes over the kind of the previous cycle versus now, and really this kind of transfer from gold going crazy, and then when gold tops out, crypto starts going crazy. So we have this data that I'm about to show you on the others versus gold chart. But please remember, as we dissect this data, please remember what's going on here from a business cycle perspective. And what was happening right here, right? From last cycle, the bull market. So here's gold. It is absolutely going crazy. It's the most overbought I think it's ever been. Here's a glimpse of it on the weekly chart. And just to give you a sense, here's July 2020. And as we just noted, it was like November 2020, right around here, the bull market started for altcoins. And you can just see months before gold topped out. So here we are. Gold is still going crazy. I don't know if it's going to top out right now. I don't know when it's going to top out, but it is getting extremely overbought. But we get really nice clues here on this chart in terms of why this is so bullish for altcoins. So check this out. Here's March 2020, the COVID swing low, just massive liquidations that happened all back here. As you know, we just had a mass liquidation event, record breaking. It just happened, right? And if we look at that alone, that is something, right? This marked the bottom last cycle. There is a very strong potential. What just happened last week will mark the bottom for this cycle in terms of like just that double bottom pattern that's set up here. But what I really thought was interesting, and kind of going back to this post, is because he's talking about a first bottom and kind of a second bottom, a first bottom and then a second bottom. If you go to this chart, the thing that I really noticed, besides just the similarities of structure and all of that, I mean, and I'm serious talking about structure. Like, look at this: bear market, swing high, right? Double bottom. Bear market, swing high, double bottom. Besides that, you know what really stands out to me is the length of time. It's the length of time. So here's that first bottom, 2022, to where we are right now, like just over 1,000 days. And if we go to the first bottom last cycle to really, if we want to go to the November kind of breakout for altcoins, 700 some days, this says everything to me. It does not in any way tell me, man, this cycle's different. Altcoins are just not going to perform. What it says is, and what it illustrates to me is, this tightening phase, this contraction phase that we've been in has really suppressed altcoins. Not to mention, everybody, what I think is manipulation happening in the markets for big money accumulation. I think things are being suppressed, but the business cycle plays a really big part in this. And it has been an extended cycle. And therefore, when we start looking at this chart, that is why, I mean, just look at this. There's not been this rotation to altcoins. And that's what a lot of people are frustrated with. You go start looking at the altcoin market cap chart. It's like, man, it is true. Where's that blast off move? It's not happened. But as I talked about in yesterday's video, right here with where altcoins are, and it's crazy because we are at all-time high area from last cycle, but we are on the bullish end. We are at the bullish beginning of a business cycle, right? In terms of the Fed balance sheet, the contraction phase is getting ready to come to an end, not start, which really signaled, or at least getting ready to start, signaled the top of the last bull market. We're really starting to come to the end of the tightening phase. So all of these charts are coming together in such a really nice way. And I think one of the biggest things that's reflected is, yeah, we've had higher highs, higher low, just growth for altcoins, the altcoin chart here, but we've not had the bull move. We've not had the bullish breakout. And I think that is all because as we go through these charts, we understand what's happening from a business cycle perspective. This cycle has been different. It has been, in my opinion, extended, and we're seeing that. But right now, I think we're at the beginning phase of something very powerful for altcoins. And a lot of these charts, whether it's the Fed balance sheet, whether it's monetary policy, whether it's global M2, whether it's gold, the others chart versus gold, I think all of these things are signaling the move has not happened yet. It has required patience. I sit here and think for anybody that's been preparing and positioning for an altcoin move, I think it's going to be worth it. And that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but this is the risk I've been taking. This is the risk I am taking. And when you even get into our risk models in our intelligence system, here's Cardano that I have up, even Bitcoin sitting at a 46 right now, right? This is a very kind of pre-bull market number for even Bitcoin. When we're looking at this, Bitcoin has not gone into this parabolic move, and altcoins especially sitting at a 23. It's just been an extended cycle. So this is some kind of new perspective on the gold data in particular as it lines up with the Fed balance sheet and monetary policy and what's happening right now. But I think it's all very bullish for crypto. And I say that in this environment where we are getting this throwback on Ethereum, you know, we go to look at Cardano, it's just not breaking out. I'm going to be doing a Cardano video probably later today if time allows. And I really want to dig into the Cardano charts because I've noticed something a little bit earlier as it relates to back here in September that I think is notable for Cardano and ADA holders. So these are my thoughts today. Hit the subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you're not in our intelligence system, again, we just added say risk model, and we've got a bunch of other risk models back there. Go back there. You can start planning and strategizing what it looks like to exit in an environment when things are getting a little too crazy on these altcoin risk models, and you'd be able to start setting alerts. I will say this to members, text is so in play right now. Alessandro is working on it very heavily. We just had a little bit of a win behind the scenes, and it's on its way. I don't want to give a timeline, but it's on its way. So text alerts right now, we have email alerts. You can be alerted when we hit risk scores where it's becoming very actionable. Right now, in my opinion, it's not very actionable. So those are my thoughts today. I appreciate you watching. Hit that like on the way out if you found this content valuable, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.